Good morning. This morning's trip or adventure, we're going to go find a pyramid. In the Balmoral estate. I am in Balmoral. I was going to film this by the gates, but there are people coming through because it's Sunday morning, so I'm guessing they're all doing church. So yeah, we are on the Balmoral estate. The house itself is still closed for a period of mourning for the Queen, but the floral tributes are lovely. But we're going to go on something called the Cairn Walk, and the Cairn to Prince Albert is a huge pyramid apparently, so we're going to go find it. Here's how you find the Cairn. Walk over the bridge away from the car park and towards the castle. Keep the castle entrance on your right hand side and follow the road around to the left. Go past all the cattle and the fields, and eventually about a mile down you'll see another road going up the hill to the right. Take this road, follow it around, and eventually you'll come to a small hamlet east of Balmoral with a big wooden gate. Go through the gate, turn immediately left and follow the path uphill. After about another half a mile you'll see a little sign on the left hand side pointing you to the Cairn Walk. This is now a woodland walk, and you'll know you're in the right place if it just goes very steeply uphill. Okay, they weren't lying. This is steep, and I don't think you can even see how steep it is. It's really steep. Do you know what's really weird? Queen Victoria walked along that path, and I'm guessing Queen Elizabeth, and most of the royal family, I would have imagined. It's quite cool. And now my puppy. And then, just when you think you can't go up anymore, you see this. It is indeed a proper pyramid. It's a pyramid. It's like an actual pyramid. Let's go a bit closer. Of course, in the water. Oh wow, look at the view. So having done my walk, I am now cooking scrambled eggs and bacon on crumpets in my Ridge Monkey. The crumpets are already done, they're in the oven keeping warm. The scrambled eggs are fluffy! It's exciting. Campervans and large vehicles in allocated bays only. So, I'm assuming these are the motorhomes. Yeah, they are. It's a bit windy, but it's beautiful. I'm not allowed to leave Scotland until I've tried Iron Brew. I can't believe I've Never tried Iron Brew before. I don't know why I've never tried Iron Brew. Have you tried Iron Brew? You're kind of the same colour. It's because it looks like Lucozade and I don't like Lucozade. Right. I don't want to. Okay, don't say anything like Lucozade. Bubbles went up my nose. It's not unpleasant. I don't know what it tastes like. Iron Brew, I guess. It's kind of fruity. It's weird. It's quite nice. Okay, I'm going to finish this. Alright, whoever told me to try Iron Brew, you were correct. I feel very Scottish. Go on, go. I'm also immortalising you on video because this is just nuts.
I used to have nuts, not anymore.
So here we go then, the question that started it all. Has the NC500 been ruined? And I think that is a very complicated question and there are many sides to it, as with most things. I think there is the fact that the incredible scenery and the beautiful vistas and the reason that the tourist board created the route in the first place still exist. You know, the beaches are stunning, the places that you can go and visit are incredible. In that sense, no, I don't think that most of the NC500 has been ruined. It's also had a really positive effect in some areas that are perhaps too remote or too far away from the main cities to otherwise benefit from things like tourism and money that people who visit the area do bring into it. And I know some people say, well, motorhomers and campervanners don't bring anything into the area. And I'm sure there are some people who travel in a van, who visit an area and don't ever go to a cafe or go out for dinner or pay to go and see a site. But there are plenty of other people who do. I mean, the things that I did when I was up there, I paid to go on a zip line, I paid to go into a cafe several times, I paid for takeaways, I paid for food, I obviously bought fuel. There were so many things that I bought that add to the general economy of the area. So I think if that was their aim, was to get more people to visit for things like tourism and to create jobs and all of this stuff, then that has obviously been really successful, possibly more successful than they meant it to be. But we also need to look at the flip side of that. I really do feel for the people who live along the route, who have perhaps lived along the route their entire lives, who don't directly benefit from all this increased tourism and everything else. Now, there are some people who are incredibly rude, saying motorhomers and campervanners aren't welcome here. And I just think that's quite selfish of them, frankly, because now so many people's jobs and livelihoods do rely on tourism, and them actively trying to turn people away will affect that. I also think those people need to learn to differentiate between motorhomers and campervanners who cause destruction and leave their waste all over the place, and the vast majority of us who don't. And I think tarring all of us with one brush is very small-minded. So I think if you remove those people who are perhaps slightly more vocal about the fact that motorhomers and campervanners aren't welcome, there are plenty of people who are lovely, who are very welcoming, who are very friendly, who want people to come and visit their area and marvel at this incredible place that they're lucky enough to call home. It's a lovely, lovely route. However, I will never drive it in the school holidays, ever. And I strongly recommend that you don't either, because having now seen how narrow the roads are, having seen some of the people along the route who don't quite understand their vehicle width, and I don't just mean motorhomers here either, I mean car drivers who can't understand that they can get through the gap between the motorhome and the end of the wall. I won't ever do that route in peak season. I think if you go before Easter, so March or early April, brilliant. Or, I mean, I went late September and into October and that was fantastic as well. I think you can also do it in winter. And the problem is, the biggest problem that the Scottish Tourist Board have got to figure out along this route are the facilities. They've created this stunning route, they've done brilliant marketing, and it is a genuinely beautiful, beautiful place to visit. But there aren't enough facilities for the amount of tourists. Now, that's not just motorhomes and campervanners, that's, you know, people who go to hotels, to B&Bs, who take their own car. All of these other people, they need facilities. But for motorhoming and campervanning specifically, they've got these forestry overnight sites, which are fantastic, and I hope that they continue. Why they stop them in October, I do not understand, because most campsites along the route shut over winter. So surely they could just leave their forestry sites open all year. Along with that is because most campsites shut throughout the winter, there are even fewer places where you can safely and hygienically empty your waste and all the rest of the things. So that definitely needs looking at. There are not enough spaces. I mean, if you wanted to go around the NC500, say next June, you'd have to book like several months in advance, and that's just not practical. And if you don't book up in advance and you just decide to wing it, which normally I'm a big advocate for, there are very few places that you can actually stay. So there does need to be some rethink, I think, about how they do this, how they manage this, whether they put permits out for a number of vans to go at a certain time or what. I don't know, but I think there does need to be something. I mean, ideally, create more facilities, create more jobs, but the roads themselves aren't big enough to handle more traffic. They are a lot of very narrow, sometimes single track lanes. So that is the biggest problem, I think, with the NC500. Now, there are some campsites that are open all year, and there are also some which will allow motorhomes and campervanners to come and pay a small fee to use their waste disposal and get fresh water. If you've not listed them, they're on the Wandering Bird website. I'll drop a link below to that so you can see which ones are open all year and you can plan your trip around that. Don't forget as well, you can grab your free NC500 planner. The link to that is in the notes as well. Thank you for joining me on this Scotland Odyssey. It has been brilliant being able to share it with you. If you want to go back and watch from the very beginning, this is part 1 for you. If not, stay tuned for Ireland, which is coming really soon. I'm so excited. So make sure you subscribe for that so you get the notifications, and I will see you very soon. Take care. Bye.